Alright, this here is a Task Force 5 horsepower front tine rototiller. And from this back in here, you can see that it is a model 210-310. So this means this was manufactured in 1990. And over here on the power head, she has a Briggs Stratton model 130202 Type 316601. This belongs to my cousin, and there used to be a Yazoo YTKC22 sitting right there, and I got that running and out of the way so that I could pull this rototiller out, because I need this for this growing season. Today all I'm out here doing is verifying the model number. I was expecting it to be a 210, but it could also be a 211 310. The 210 was made in 1990 and the 211 was made in 1991, and from what I can tell online, they're essentially identical and just sort of minor changes. But the real reason I'm out here is I have no idea what kind of engine is in here, and I could not find anything online that told me the engine. But now I know what model Briggs it is, and I could tell it was a Briggs just because of the way it is. You know, the Briggs like to have that sort of shape right there. I don't know what the term is for that. Pear shape, I guess? Anywho, I need to figure out what the engine was so that I could look up, head gaskets and spark plugs and oil capacity and recommended oil. I'm sure it just takes 10W30. But just wanted to be extra certain. And yeah, I'm going to drag this thing out, see if I can get it to run, top up the oil, dump out the fuel tank, put in some fresh fuel, and see if she works. Then if either I can't get it to work or I can get it to work, I'm going to try and get it running right, because I'm going to need full power to be using them, because I want that to dig deep. After much moaning and groaning, I have successfully pushed this heavy lump of lead 1,500 foot from over there. Oh, and it don't balance very well. Center of gravity is... Where is it? There. So can't pull it behind me because I'm too tall. Maybe if I was a child. And also if I pull it behind me, this thing wants to stab into the back of my ankle. Well, and to push it forward, I gotta hold the handles at this angle and then push it. And it's got such a narrow wheelbase, no suspension, such narrow wheels that see all this crap? It just hits it and it goes like that and beats my damn elbows to death. And you gotta push the thing at least like jogging pace in order to get it to level out. Anyway, I'm done complaining. It's here now. So while I still got a little bit of daylight left, I'm gonna pop the spark plug and see what that looks like. And if it's in good shape, then we'll run with it. I'm also gonna pop off the air cleaner cover and see how dirty that is. And I did check. There is a 100% zero fuel in there, but it does look clean at the very least. So I don't think this is gonna need much. Once I get it running, then I'm gonna go through and do a whole tune-up anyway. I need to check dipstick too. Let's see. There's the fill right there. That guy, stick a screwdriver in between there and turn it. Down there is the drain. You get a crescent wrench on there, turn that out. And the dipstick is supposed to be buried down in there. Nope, this one doesn't have a dipstick. So we're just gonna pop that drain off and see how much oil's in it. Hopefully a good bit. And I think she's pretty level. Yeah, she's a hair canted back, but it'll be good. Alright, well I got everything apart, and let's get a status report. First things first, there was a Southern Yellow Jacket Queen inside of the cooling fins, so that was absolutely terrifying. I went up there to blow all the dirt out from around the spark plug and heard a buzzing noise. And so I got the flashlight out and looked around, couldn't see anything, blew again, heard a buzzing noise, blew again, heard a buzzing noise, and then she flew right out. Big old fat Queen Yellow Jacket came right at my face, swatted at her and screamed like a little girl, and she just took up and went off into the great beyond. So I think she was looking for a place to start a nest, or at least she was finding a place to hunker down during this cool weather. And she didn't wake up that entire time. I was pushing the thing by hand, you know, a third of a mile. But she woke up when I blew hot halitosis on her. So anyway, that aside, got the spark plug out. She's gapping at like 0.031. It's supposed to be 0.03, so that's great. I'm just going to leave that as is. Got the oil drain out, and she's plumb full of oil. So that's not a concern. So we'll just put that right back. Looking at the air filter, nah, not so good. This is the pre-cleaner. This is totally gone. Absolutely melted. That's supposed to be soaked in engine oil. And here's the regular air filter. And it don't look bad. The gasket's still pretty soft, so I think what I'm going to do is dispose of this. Looks like burnt toast. And just put this right back on without the pre-cleaner. And call that good. Shit, I think I'm going to torque that back down, put that back in. The boot looks, you know, pristine. And I think we're just going to slosh some E-free gas in there and see if she sends. I'm kind of concerned that this tiller clutch isn't entirely working correctly, because it seems like nothing happens when I pull that other than the noise. Like, I'm pretty sure that bar that spring is connected to is supposed to be coming in. So I think the clutch is stuck disengaged, which is good, because I have pulled on the crank. It is not seized. I went in here with a flashlight, and you won't be able to see this, but if I get it just right, I can see down into the cylinder, and I don't see any rust in there. I think it was at top dead center when it sat, or something pretty close to it, so that's not a concern. But yeah, I'm just gonna dump some gas in there and see if it fires up. We'll see. I'm not gonna run the tiller, but I am going to see if the engine will run. Just look at how clean that is. I mean, there's a smidge of sediment there in the back, but shit. You should have seen that Briggs Stratton. That thing's full of rust. That's beautiful looking. Also, by the way, that spark plug is like a weird size. It's like a 3/4 inch spark plug. I was able to get it off with a 13/16, but it wasn't happy. If it was rusted in place, I would have probably stripped it. So just be mindful of that. It's like a weird, like, short little fire plug too. All right, so this is entirely impromptu. So I literally have a rock sitting on this Yazoo gas tank, and I've just got the front-facing camera set up. And I'm just gonna dump gas in it and send it. Not gonna put too much in there because I only expect this to have a blown-out carburetor and not work, but we'll give it enough. That should be good. Alright, spark plug's back on. Gas cap is on, air filter's tight. Oil cap is now tight. It was slightly loose. Let's see, put throttle to full. Choke is on. Guess send it. Oh yeah, that clutch is engaged. Let's not do that. Oh yeah. Oh boy, she was way out. All right, let's try that one more time. All right, she should be plenty flooded now. Oh, she's gonna fight, ain't she? Well, I woke up all the sand gnats. Or she's got a blown head gasket. The half of the head gasket I can see looks good. Carb could be totally plugged. Or if it's anything like the Briggs I have at home, it's just all ignition. We'll give it a couple more yanks and see what the hell happens. We have compression because it fights me when I close the throttle and the choke. Oh, that's why. Hey, I found the problem. It's fuel related. Come look at this. I think this might be our problem right here. You know, I'm pretty certain that's the vacuum line that pulls fuel from the crankcase. I'm pretty sure that's the line that connects down there to the crankcase and uses pressure differentials to run this fuel pump. At least I'm assuming that's the fuel pump. And yeah, it's just doing one of those. So I think this guy right here needs something done to it. My L-head engine does not do that, but my L-head engine is also gravity fed. So I'm gonna look into that and see what I can figure out to fix that. Okay, false alarm. This is not the fuel pump, this is the crankcase breather. So this actually doesn't serve any important purpose other than allowing the crankcase to vent. So we're going to ignore that for now. Alright, now that it's a different day and I've got tools and a tripod, we're going to just see what the state of affairs is for everything. Because it's one of three things, so we're going to start with the easy stuff first. Alright, so first things first, we're going to start with the ignition test. Just see if we got spark. Well, we do. It's kind of weak, and it's almost impossible for me to see in direct sunlight, so I know absolutely for a fact that you can't see it. But there is spark. So, from here, we're going to move on to a compression test, just to make sure that we're getting compression. And I know that these L-head engines make kind of terrible compression, so hopefully what we're going to see is that this is making like, you know, 90 psi, something around there. I know that the 69-year-old Briggs Stratton I got running was only making 60, and then I cleaned the head, and then it was only making like 45, and it still runs. So we just want to make sure that the rings are still present. Compression tester's hooked up, and I've got it placed as best as you can see it. And just with the spark plug out, giving it a sniff, big ol' whiff, I smell zero gasoline. So I think it's a fuel delivery problem, which probably means either the pickup is clogged, the main jet is clogged, the needle is stuck, or just generally the carburetor's fucked. So I think compression will be alright, but let's double check. And yeah, we're reading 60, so that's about what I would expect from an L-head like this. I do have the air cleaner on, so it should probably go up a little bit higher. Choke is off, the throttle is all the way open though. Let me just give that a couple more pulls to confirm. Yeah, 60 psi. Well, 58. Alright, and while I got this guy out, I'm just going to hit it with a little bit, or I'm going to hit this toothbrush with a little bit of carb cleaner and just clean off a little bit of this carbon. This spark plug looks really good to me, other than the obvious fact that it was running rich. And yeah, I'm also going to try and gap it back down to 30, just a hair. I wouldn't recommend trying to gap an old spark plug because you'll probably break it, but I don't care, so I'm just going to do it anyway, just to see. Alright, I've got that where I wanted. It doesn't really want to move, so I'm not going to force it. Got it maybe 5 thou tighter. Alright, just to make extra certain that it is indeed fuel related, I'm going to give her a puff of carb cleaner and just see if she touches off. That was way too much. Alright, let's see if we get some pre-detonation. Yeah, so that's it. It's totally fuel related. Now she looked like she wanted to run there. Let's put the choke on and let's see if she runs now. I wonder if that was just enough vacuum to be able to suck some fuel in. It looks like it might have been. Well, that was easy. That's all she wanted. Could be that the air cleaner is just totally plugged. Let's put that back on there and see if it keeps going. All right, air cleaner's back in. Let's see if she fires up. Well, she runs just fine. So I guess all I need to do now is move on over to freeing up this clutch, and then once I get that running, I guess sharpen the tines and check to verify that we do indeed have a gear oil in this chain drive. Well, now that I've confirmed that the engine runs just fine, I guess what I need to do is go through the tune-up procedure for you. Alright, it's like 80 degrees in December and my garbage phone is overheating because it's built for Alaska. But anyway, let's quickly run through the tune-up procedure, not using the tripod so that my phone doesn't overheat. Now, first things first, you're going to need to pop your spark plug. Just pop the boot off. This is like a 3/4 inch spark plug. It's some weird size, don't know why. I'm using a 13/16 and that seems to work well enough. Just break it free, spin it out. Old one out, huck it, get your new one, make sure it's gapped correctly to 30 thou. Put the new one back in, grab your ratchet, tighten it down to about 20 foot-pounds, basically hand tight. That should be good. Boot back on. Now, over to your air cleaner. This is, I believe, 8mm or 5/16 bolts. They are captive, so don't worry about losing them. You can also take them off with a flat blade screwdriver like I am. Alright, now that that's off, you can look at your pre-cleaner. If your pre-cleaner looks like mine, throw it away. If it still looks good and foamy and rubbery, keep it. In order to clean your pre-cleaner, what you need to do is wash it out, wring it out, get all the dirt out of it, wash it from the inside out, and then let it dry out. Then take some fresh motor oil, like a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon, dump it on there, roll it up, squeeze it, make sure it permeates, and then reinstall it. But first you need to change your air filter. This has this little plastic bracket, which is clipping it on. Get that out of the way, pull out your old air cleaner. Mine still looks decent, so I'm going to reuse it. Then just put it right back in. Take your bracket, clip it over one side, make sure you get it over the rubber. Line it up so that it is in its proper place on all sides, like so. Then get your new or clean pre-cleaner, which I don't have, and then put it right back in. And it's just as simple as tighten down these screws. Just sort of tighten it until it starts to give you resistance on one side, then do the other, and then do the other. Just tighten them until they don't go anymore, because that rubber is a gasket, and it does need to seal to keep crap from getting underneath the air filter. Alright, that's good. Now all that's left is the oil. Here's your oil drain plug. You see it's got these two little nubs. You stick a screwdriver or a bar or something in between them, and turn like that until it loosens. Then twirl this off. And there's your oil. And what you would do now is you would just pick the whole thing up, put a catch pan under it, just tip it over, drain all of it out, and then set it back up. And you want to get it on a level surface, and you want to fill it with detergent, straight 30 weight oil, up till it starts to come out of here. and it needs to be level so that you know you've put in the correct amount. You don't over or under fill it. And if you can't get it on a level surface, it takes 21 ounces. That's what the manufacturer recommends, so you can pre-measure it and just pour that much in. Then it's just as simple as threading your plug back in till she seats. Get her as tight as you can by hand. Then just give her whatever she needs with the pry bar. And mine apparently does not need anything. There you go. Your 1995 horsepower Task Force Rototiller is tuned up. Since she's in such good shape, I think what I'm going to do is fire her up. Go over to this little spot over here where we're getting a slab poured for a garage, and since that's going to get chewed up tomorrow anyway, just run the tiller around through there and just see how she eats. And once I get her nice and warmed up, I think I'm just going to go ahead and change the oil on her anyway, just because that's been in there for probably 5 years or so. So I already bought it, Can't hurt to change it. So guess let's get to it. Let's see if this thing eats dirt or not. Alright, we got her up on a block, and we're just gonna drain the oil. And it looked pretty good, but I already bought oil preemptively because I thought it was gonna look horrible. So might as well do it. And yeah, that's not very good looking, so I'm glad I did that. That is really runny. And it's not terribly hot either. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. That's really shiny. That's not a good sign. Well, anyway, hopefully your oil doesn't look like that. That's incredibly thin. So I'm glad I'm changing on that, because that's supposed to be straight 30 weight, and that looks like 5W30. So we're going to take this out now that I've got it mostly empty. And tip it over a little bit more and allow that to drain a bit. But that's not the best looking oil. Let's see if we can get a closer look at that. Ooh, yeah, that's got some sheen to it. Alright, she's plumb full, so all it takes. I discovered this up here, which has all that information I was looking for originally, which would have been helpful for me to have noticed since it was in plain sight. And it recommends 20 ounces. And as you can see, that's what I've done. A little bit more, probably because I'm on unlevel terrain, but can't hurt. So we're just going to lock this back up and call it a day. And I think I'm going to order me a spark plug and air filter and do those just to make sure this thing's got all the 5 horses. Alright, there she is all tuned up. I still need to get my new air filter and my spark plug in. I got them on order. They'll show up eventually. But hopefully this helped. I couldn't really find much information on these. It took me forever just to find the owner's manual and all that. Eventually did find them, and there's a lot of great information in there, so don't take my word for it. Go cross-reference it for yourself. And this little unit right here actually has a very good readout as far as, you know, just general operation and maintenance, printed right here on top of the air cleaner housing. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that helps the channel. I hate, you know, shilling like that, but, you know, way the cookie crumbles. Till next time, I'm out.